Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I am one of the hosts of this evening, Michael, followed by other Cultured Corner host, Sage.
That's me.
Again, we're not doing cultured, but, well, a different kind of cultured.
A different kind of culture today.
Because if you play video games in any regard, you probably have heard about Baldur's Gate, and I'm going to talk about Baldur's Gate for at least a little bit. I'm going to talk at Sage about Baldur's Gate, much like our D&D episode.
Yeah. You can just inform me and go like way too far into something that I have no interest in / probably will not get into.
Yeah.
But I like hearing about things, so.
So this is going to be a bit later than obviously because we have 5 weeks out from our recordings. But Baldur's Gate came out last week as of recording. And it's
so like the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so fucking good. So Baldur's Gate is D&D.
But a video game.
Yes. Which there are a few of those that exist. And
is it like choose your own adventure?
I mean, you're playing as a person walking around doing shit. Like it's imagine Zelda but with actual interaction.
Oh, okay.
Like it is technically, choose your own adventure. Who you talk to affects the game. Who you romance, who you attack, who you don't attack, who you help, don't help. All of that affects the game. So like, so I only just got to Act 2, which is irrelevant, but just for people listening. But so very beginning of the game, right? I've talked to a few people about their experiences now already. So I've seen someone that like at the beginning of the game, you're on like a ship and the ship crashes and then you kind of like are free to roam around.
Okay.
I talked to someone that everyone that was on that ship, because like you get companions.
Okay.
That were all kind of connected to that ship in the beginning of the game. I talked to someone that all their companions somehow, I have no idea how the fuck this happened, all of them were dead.
After it crashed?
Yeah. I don't know how they fucked that up, but they were all just dead. So they had no companions.
Maybe in the responses, because you know how it's like in like...
yeah, but you don't really talk to anyone in the beginning.
Oh, it's
like
not
you walk around the ship, but really your goal is just to get to the front and do so. So unless he just didn't get to the front in time, I have no idea.
No, because I'm picturing it like, you know how like in dating simulators where like you'll get like a question and then depending on like how you answer, it like progresses whatever
that is a thing
storyline
for stuff, yeah.
So like maybe he was just really mean to all the other people on this ship.
You only interact with 2 of them.
Then I don't know.
And you can ignore one of them. But
okay. What's it called? Baldur's
Gate 3.
Okay.
So I have no idea how that guy fucked that up. But he started the game with apparently no companions. Although that is through our friend Eamon. So unless the guy he's talking to is just an idiot, I mean, who knows? But like I got through.
I feel like I could manage to do that.
Yeah, probably. Like that person or a separate person's been trying to romance a character called Lae'zel.
Okay.
And somehow has not managed to pull that off once, where I found it to be the easiest fucking thing on the planet. Like, I walked up to her at one point. She was like, sex? And I was like, yes. And that was it. That was all it took.
So
like,
so that was the entire romancing. So maybe he said no.
No, like, he was like, I never even got that. So, like, but so there, while you play, even in the beginning, there are things that, like, I don't know if you... there's, like, things in the corner that's, like, you choose a text option or a something, and it's, like, Lae'zel disapproves, Lae'zel approves, Shadowheart approves, disapproves, etc.
So, when you start the game, everybody starts as one person, or you can choose, like... Is there, like let's say,
you
like,
create your own
9
character.
characters?
You create your own character.
Oh, okay.
Your own race, gender, genitals. You get to choose your genitals. I'm Vulva B. Yeah, so each race technically has different variety, but in the race I was, there's vulva A through C, shaved, partially shaved, or kept, not kept.
Right.
And then there's penis A through E, which
so
is
they, like,
variations
look
of
different?
yeah. Well, so variations of shaved, and then for penises it's shaved, and then also circumcised or not circumcised.
Okay.
That's your options.
Those are the
Yeah.
selections.
Now some races have less. Like a Dragonborn apparently only has one of each.
Gotcha.
Just they're female, male, or none.
Because you're like a dragon.
Yeah.
I guess that would make
Dragon-
sense. Dragons
dragon-like.
don't usually have hair.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
You can also present as female. You could have boobs, but have male genitals. Like you can.
That would be me.
Yeah, you can. You can play as transgender. Or whatever. You can have your character identify as non-binary. Like it's
Lots of options. I love it.
The creation is really good. But the one thing is once you lock it in, you can't change it at all.
Okay.
So like you choose your hair and then you end up not liking it, like you're stuck.
Oh, unlucky.
But I will say there are very few games where like I would say a majority of video games when you're offered create a character and you get to choose your hair, there's really like one or two options that look good,
Right.
And everything else is just there.
Kind of like ridiculous.
Yeah. Or even not ridiculous. They just don't look good.
So do you remember in like when the Wii first came out and you could like customize your Mii?
Yeah.
So the hair options on the Mii. I don't know what was going on with like the male hair options. When I tell you they gave the male options one good haircut and then everything else looked fucking stupid.
Yeah. So like most video games that you get that option are kind of like that.
But the girl ones had like an infinite number of good styles.
Yeah.
For the Mii's.
Right.
It was I was like, why did the male options get done so dirty?
Basically the male option was medium spiky.
Yeah.
Like your only real good one.
Yeah.
But in this game is really actually like the only game that I can think of where like so there are at least for the race I chose because I think different races have different hair options.
Okay.
Because I think like tieflings and dragonborns have separate options. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. I had 87 options to choose from
For the hair.
Yeah, and I would say like 70 of them were good. Like I could see
that's pretty
myself
good.
using them.
That's pretty good.
So that's pretty great. I like the hair I chose now. I might have chosen slightly differently. I think if I had the option, I would probably change it, but I'm still happy with it. But what's also really cool is that with the hair, there's also 3 areas that you can affect how it looks. So you have main color, you have a highlight, and then you have graying. But the graying, you can also choose a different color than just white. So you can give your hair a different color accent. So I have like it's mainly purple hair. Mainly black hair with purple accents. And then the graying is like a baby blue, so that it's like partially like fades into one to the other.
Oh, cute.
And the different hairstyles have the graying affected differently, where it shows and where it doesn't. Like if you have a partially shaven head or whatever, stuff like that, which is really cool. You have your general stuff too, like your eyes. You can make yourself heterochromia, different eye colors, stuff like that. Yeah, of course, always. You get the option.
No, when you
always.
get the option, you have to pick the most cool option. And you can't just be like, nah, give me standard brown.
Yeah, like
if I'm
getting both options, I'm making one eye fucking scarlet red and one like bright purple.
Nah, you always got to go with the blue and green.
Oh, I always go red and purple because they're my 2 favorite colors.
I guess that's fair.
Plus, they would be rad eye colors to have.
I feel like IRL though, like red would be scary.
No, that'd be rad as fuck. Technically, you can have red eye color, but you usually have albinism, which means you probably can't really see.
I was gonna say,
but it is possible.
True.
But red eyes would be so fucking cool. Like we've talked about many a time,
right?
That humans really got the boring end of customization.
We really did.
We have such limited options to be.
Yeah, and like if you like, even just animals that aren't humans, like I feel like they have way more like color options.
Yeah.
So why don't we get the cool ass color options?
Man, adaptation was fucking boring with us.
Yeah.
Like we didn't get no green or purples or reds or. Well, I mean, technically, I guess we got red hair, but
Yeah.
And that's dying out. So we're barely having
I
red
was
hair.
going to say that's so limited.
Yeah, and they assume I think there's predictions that it probably won't even be a thing by like 2100 or something like that.
Really?
I think, or further down.
Right.
But yeah, because it's so limited that they're like, it's
Blonde
probably not going to be a thing.
is more common than red, yeah? Like natural blonde?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Red hair is really limited to like 3 regions of the world. And they're all in the same area for the most part.
Right.
So, but yeah, like, so, you know, you got that. Then you have like the body types, I will say is quote unquote limiting. Like a lot of times games with customization will have like slider scales, how big you want your chest to be, like not necessarily boobs, but just like chest in general.
Right.
Or some games also have abilities to slide like how big your boobs are and stuff. But
you got to put on like huge bazonkas.
Right. Or like, you know, how big your arms are, like, and usually it's like a comical kind of thing. If you're going to the extremes, like you make your chest 100% and it's like out to here,
right?
Or like 0 and it's like caved in.
Yep.
This game doesn't have that. It has, again, at least for what I chose, which I chose a half elf because I'm boring.
But that sounds cute with like a little.
Yeah. But is 4 body types, and I think this is true for each race. Which is slender male, slender female, buff male, buff female.
Okay.
So like average height, tone, and then above average height, jacked. Is like the 2 options you have.
Yo, I
would
make myself buff female, huge boobs, huge dick.
Yeah, but you can't slider your boobs or your dick. That's what I'm saying. So this game.
So you only get one size.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, there's just default boob.
Sad.
But
this game is trash.
Good boob though.
Good. It's like a good
titty.
size.
Yeah,
okay.
Good titty. Well, afterwards, I could show you if you want. Because you can just be nude. There's no blurring, nothing. It's just there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could have every single member in your party naked, male, female, whatever. You can just walk around. Technically, so I'm playing a monk, and
so you're not supposed to be naked.
So like as my class. Armor doesn't help me. Your monks get their defense from just being dexterous, I guess. That's not the word I'm looking for, but mobile, whatever. Basically the fact that like armor would slow them down is the idea.
Oh, so like agility and
So like
free movement is the key.
That is the idea behind it.
Okay.
So
like dexterous.
So like barbarians too. Like barbarians usually get unarmored defense. They are better when not armored.
Okay. So would armor make you worse?
Technically.
Okay.
But if you have like a good enough armor, it could technically help you, but it's just usually you'll be better off not doing it and getting armor different ways. Like I could get a magic item called Bracers of Defense. So they're just like arm bracelets bracers that give me magically better defense.
Okay.
They don't count as armor.
Gotcha. But they just enhance you in a different way.
Mm-hmm. But it goes towards my AC armor class. But so monks don't need to wear armor. So I could, if I want to, walk around naked. It would not hinder me in any way, shape, or form. I could just flex on people, being nude, and beating the shit out of them.
Love it.
If you're a barbarian,
I feel like that's a power move.
Yeah.
Like you fuck up some guys fully nude.
Yeah, the barbarians can do the same. Wizards, because wizards can't use armor because it doesn't work with the magic.
Oh, okay.
It's a balancing thing.
I understand.
Yeah.
You can't have somebody like be so OP.
Yeah. So like sorcerers also can't wear armor. Now you can get like a feat that lets them wear like light armor, and so you can do that. But basically, all those classes, if they wanted to, could walk around naked and just beat the shit out of people. And you can do that with other classes, but you would be losing your AC.
Gotcha.
Because they can wear the armor. So like, if you're a fighter, you could be running around naked, but you're missing out on the fact that you can wear a half medium armor set that's going to be giving you, instead of 12 AC, you could have 16.
Right, give you a little boost.
Yeah. Now, I don't think most people are going to be running around naked anyway, but the fact that that's an option is funny. And for like a hot minute, like 20 minutes, I was just running around a goblin camp naked because I thought it was funny and beating the shit out of them.
Wait, is this like online?
In what regard? Just like that you can play with others, or that like it is an open world and people are always in it?
Like you know how like in RuneScape, like you have your
Okay, no.
person. Okay.
It is not where you can run into another person on their computer playing.
Oh, okay.
It is not that.
Because I'm
You
just
can join
picturing
people.
like a sea
Yeah, no.
of people on a map, and half of them are just like flailing around nude.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Okay.
It is not that kind of game. You can join people. I'm in a game with Kieran and 2 of our friends. But you can also play it solo, and you don't need to be on the internet either to play.
Oh, okay.
The only downside of this game is that it's only on PC at the moment. It's going to be on PlayStation next month. But my computer is not in the most convenient of places because I'm already standing. Because I have a standing desk, and it's stuck in the standing position because I needed to put all my wires into a
thing.
guard so my cat would stop biting through them. And if I wanted to, I could take them all out of the thing, lower it down, be able to sit in a chair, and then
You
put
should
it
get
all
a
back
bar
in.
stool.
So I have been using. That's why one's missing.
Ah!
But the bar stool we have sucks if you sit in it for like more than an hour.
Yeah, I feel like your tushy probably gets uncomfortable.
Lower back mostly. But so I've
You should
been
make
just
like a
taking,
gaming chair bar stool hybrid.
Yeah, but but it comes out on PlayStation next month, and there is crossplay. So like whatever progression I do on my PC, when I log into my the studio that made it's called Larian Studios. So if I log into that account, I'll be able to load that save on my PlayStation, which is
Oh,
great.
that's
So next
neat.
month I am absolutely going to do that.
So you don't have to like redo all your work
Yeah.
if you wanted to play on like your PlayStation.
Which is great because like I'd much rather because I already have to stand all day at work. Then
Right.
then if I want to relax, I'm then standing all day.
Right.
Until like for hours afterwards. So I'm like, I just don't want to.
And
be
your
doing
feet
that.
are probably like, please let us sit down.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I have every now and then been just taking everything out of my PC and bringing it downstairs and connecting it. But it's kind of a hassle. But
I was gonna say, I've seen your setup. That seems like a lot of work to move it.
I've made it kind of easy now. But it'd be more ideal if I just don't have to.
Right.
And funny enough, it was gonna be on Xbox, but it can't be because Xbox requires games to be available on both Series X and S, and the Series S can't run it.
Wait,
because
I
it's-
don't. I
So
don't
Xbox
understand.
has
2 different Xboxes.
Yeah, there's the Series X, which is like default, which is good, and then there's the Series S, which was cheaper and less power.
It's like the Switch Lite.
Sure,
Okay.
it's just like a less powerful version that's cheaper. So if people wanted a newer system but couldn't afford the Series X, they can get this option.
Okay.
But the Series S can't run the game.
The regular one.
No, Series S is the cheaper one.
Oh, so you're saying it doesn't work on the S, works on the X?
Yeah,
I understand.
It wouldn't, and they require it to be available on both. So Lariat was like, "It's not
Sorry.
coming out. We can't make it work on this. It's too weak." So Xbox doesn't get the game.
But doesn't that feel like Xbox is playing themselves
Absolutely.
by having
They
that requirement?
100% are.
Because aren't you just then like being like, okay, if your game is too like much, we can't handle to have it on our system.
Yep.
That feels like a not smart business move.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if you bought the X, like it does the S, it does feel bad to be like, well, I can't play this game because it's not powerful enough. But if I had the X, I could.
Yeah. Which I like. It makes sense, but it's also shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, but at least they offer a cheaper option for people.
Right.
You know. So to give or take, I guess. But so anyway, I've been playing through the game. And in the beginning of the game, you get like 2 companions, Lizelle and Shadowheart. I'll pull up pictures of them. I would like to point out that there is a group of people in playing this game that have been making Lizelle pretty mods. They are cowards.
Cowards.
They are cowards because Lizelle is hot as fuck. And she don't need nothing making her prettier. And I will show you in a second because she is already hot as fuck.
So what are they doing to like pretty.
You'll see in a second.
Oh,
You could
okay.
probably put it together once I show
Okay,
you.
okay.
I just need to find like a
I
good
never.
picture of her.
Okay, let me see. I don't understand. What are you changing?
Like making her nose more human, making her ears look more.
Wait, but isn't the appeal the ears? And isn't that the whole point? Like, she's obviously
But she's not conventionally pretty.
But she's obviously not meant to look like a human.
Yeah, because she's a different race.
So I don't understand. Like, come off it. Stop it.
Exactly. Lizelle, hot as fuck already.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Like,
If
she
you
is-
wanted a
she is
more-
so hot.
If you wanted a more human girl, I feel like, is there not other girls to pick from?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, so then just pick a different girl. You're right. They are cowards.
They are cowards. She is already hot.
Yeah, she looks fine. I don't understand.
Lizelle is hot as fuck, and the people that are saying otherwise are cowards, and
It's because they're hating on her schnoz.
probably yeah. It's fucking stupid. Lizelle is so hot. And
then there was
yeah.
two,
There are a bunch of options.
Right.
People are simping over a vampire,
of course.
as they do.
I mean, I would too, so I can't even blame them.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see here.
How do you make, I don't know if you know the answer to this question. When people make mods for video games, how do they implement it into the game? Because it's something they're making themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never understood how people do that. I don't know that you would know the answer to my question. Okay, so you wanted a more human-looking girl, just pick this other girl.
Yeah, she's a
who
half
looks
elf.
perfectly human and fine. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah. She's edgy. That's her thing.
She's edgy.
Well, Lizelle kind of is too. She's
I
like
feel like they all seem a little edgy.
Lizelle's whole thing is like live and breathe battle because the Githyanki are that's like their race. That's
Okay.
that's how they're brought up.
Okay.
And
Fight,
yeah, and
fight.
Shadowheart
Kiss, kiss.
Shadowheart is just like edgy because she follows a dark god. Stuff like that.
Okay.
But they're both great, and they are both an ideal choice. And then you got like the vampire boy or magic or wizard or warlock, or there's a hot tiefling barbarian, which is both literal and figurative.
So if you choose like a certain like race of character, can you only interact with certain characters, or can you romance anyone? Does that make sense what I asked?
Sorry, one more time.
If you choose to be like you're saying, like a barbarian, or like you're a half elf, can you, or do you get like limited to who you get to romance, or can you romance
No, you can
anyone?
romance everybody.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, there is not one thing that limits you from romancing any single person.
What if you just romance the whole town? You just have an army of simps following you around.
So some people are okay with you dating other people, and some are not. So it kind of just depends. Hot barbarian lady, both figuratively and literally.
I mean, you're absolutely correct.
She could crush me between her thighs.
I
and
was
I'd be
going to
happy
say,
about it.
she's got muscles from Brussels, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
See, that's the character model I would make.
So anyway, you can romance anyone. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing stopping you. But they do have to be, as far as I'm aware, party members. So you can't
Party members?
Yeah. So people that join you.
Oh, okay.
They
So an army of simps, like I said.
right, but only some of them let you.
Oh, do they get like jealous if you're
So,
like
like,
trying to romance someone
So
else?
I got to a part where I had to choose between, spoilers, I guess, between Lizelle and Shadowheart. I
Right.
progressed to a point where Lizelle was like, "Hey, I love you." Basically, she didn't actually say that because she's not that type of character.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But I love you. Are you my one and only or not?
Right.
And it's like, if you say no, she's done. If you say yes, that's the choice, and she won't let you be with other people.
Gotcha.
Um,
But if you say no, right? You can't later be like, oh, I've realized my mistakes.
Nope. That option is gone forever.
God, wow, brutal.
Yeah. Well, because she basically went, hey, like, basically, will you marry me? And you went, no.
Gotcha. I guess that's fair.
So.
She's like, commit to me or die.
So, yeah. So, like, also because she's, like, the gruff and tumble one, apparently, because I was looking some stuff up, people were like, the hot, sexy vampire dude, even him, he will be like, I'm not going near that. She'll kill me. So, like, it's that kind of vibe.
Right.
But, yeah, so.
Wait, show me the sexy vampire guy.
Okay.
Because I feel like I have a pretty good judgment and taste when it comes to vampire guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah?
I have all the life experience. Oh, my God. That's so funny because I was just looking up this game. Just to like look at the pictures.
And all the pictures were about the simp.
No, like
Or simping about him.
Context, and I saw this photo, and I was like, wait, that guy is hot.
Yeah, everyone's simping over him.
Wow, what did I say? I have excellent taste in vampire men.
Yeah, everybody simps over this dude. I kind of hate him.
Why?
He's kind of a douche.
He looks like you know what his vibe gives me just based off of the pictures. Did you ever watch The Nanny?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
we've talked about a lot about The Nanny.
If you guys are educated about The Nanny and you know who Mr. Sheffield is, he gives me Mr. Sheffield vibes. Not because I think he looks like him in any way, but it's just that like silver fox thing going on, you know?
Yeah, no, he's mostly just a dick.
Oh, sad.
He's like, well, in my own opinion,
is he a dick because he's also trying to romance girls you're trying to romance?
No. He's a dick because he's kind of like a smarmy, like, dude, like, where he's, like, very charismatic and well-spoken, but, like...
But has ill intent?
Kinda.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, where he's like, hey, these things that, like... So the game starts with you getting what are called tadpoles in your head. There are these creatures called mind flayers.
Okay.
They're, like, tentacle monsters, and they create more of themselves by putting... infecting them with people with tadpoles, and they go into your eye, burrow into your brain, and then make mind flayers. And it destroys the person, just makes you a mind flayer. So and mind flayers are part of like a collective. They like it's
like a shared mind thing.
Yeah. Is that the word, collective? Like where they are all just following a hive mind. They're a hive mind.
I was picking up what you were putting down.
So the game is about getting the tadpole out of your head because for whatever reason something has stopped them from turning you when you should have already turned. So the whole point of the game, at least from as far as I've gotten, is trying to find a way to get the fucking thing out of your head.
Is there any way to lose?
So,
or is it just like you can fuck around until you achieve the goal? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you could die, and like if you don't have revivifies or anything, like your character could just be dead, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or you reload a save. So there's two camps of people. The ones that are like, you made a choice, you commit to that choice, you don't reload a save. Then there's the other people that are like, no, you save the game like right before you make a roll. You fail the roll, load the save again. I am of the camp of I bought this game and I want to have fucking fun. And so I'm saving before that roll because I want the outcome I want.
No, I feel like knowing me, I would just stress myself out being like, one chance only. Send it.
Like, and I absolutely get that. I am not giving anyone shit for going that way. If anything, I commend you. Yeah, like in real D&D, obviously, you can't re-roll the fucking thing.
Right.
Well, unless you have like an inspiration. But besides the point, you can't re-roll the thing. And I play D&D that way. That's how it works.
Right.
But I paid money for this game. And I want to have the experience I want to have.
You want the most ideal outcome. That makes sense.
Like, and even if I'm not doing a good choice,
right?
You know, like I just want to do what I want to do. If I wanted this thing to work, I want it to work.
Right.
And yeah, whatever. Saves coming's lame to whatever. I don't care. I want my experience to be how I want it.
I want to stress myself out. I think that's really the difference. Because even when I play, like, the only time I'll ever reload a save in Breath of the Wild is like...
Have you finished Tears of the Kingdom yet?
That's what I meant. Sorry, Tears of the Kingdom. No, I haven't because I've been spending a lot of time just fucking around.
Okay.
because I felt like I was missing too much of the story and like the fun stuff, and like I was actually moving through like the main objectives really quickly, and I was like,
what you should be doing is watching Inuyasha while you're just playing. That's how I did it.
I can't watch Inuyasha and play at the same time.
If you're not doing the story modes and just running around and shit, you could very easily just have it playing and have Inuyasha in the background. That's literally how I got through.
But
Inuyasha.
I don't have a dual TV set up in my living room. I can do
Switch
it on my
in
tablet or
If
something.
you have your Switch in your hand and watch it on the big TV, or vice versa.
I know, but I would not pay. But when I do play Tears of a Kingdom, I'm primarily playing with Mark. Because he doesn't want to play / doesn't want to learn to play, but he wants to watch me play.
Oh, by the way, sorry. Not to
No,
interrupt
you're
you.
fine.
We hit 100 subscribers.
Well, actually 103.
Yeah, we are at 103 right now. But hey, thanks. Anyway.
Yay.
Continue.
So the reason why I know it's 103 now is because I was like, what were my thoughts on ReZero season 1? Because I had like no recollection of it. So I was like, let me just re-listen to what I said before.
Fair enough.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so and we're usually playing it on the big TV so he can actually see, because it's really hard for him to see it on the Switch itself because it's so small.
There's a joke there, man.
So like if I started playing Inuyasha like on my tablet at the same time, I feel like that would just bother him. You know what I mean?
You're never gonna get through that fucking show.
I will, slowly but surely, like how I'm slowly but surely getting through Haikyuu.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're never going to have that episode. By the time you finish, I'm not going to remember what the fuck happened in Inuyasha. Anyway.
Mike's going to be like, it's my 50th birthday, and say just finished Inuyasha.
Yeah. We've been making this podcast for 30 years.
So I'll be like, I finished the show. It came out 50 years ago, but I did it.
Jesus Christ. Anyway. So no, I have like what problem a lot of times with these types of games is I'll have multiple playthroughs, and one I will commit to. Whatever happens is the outcome. It happens. But the first time I play through a game, I want to play through it in the best possible scenario for whatever I'm going for. Just because I want to see that outcome, and then where I'm sure some people do the opposite. And that probably makes more sense to people. Like, however it plays out, it plays out. The second playthrough, you choose it. But if I'm going to take, like, the first playthrough is where you take, like, all the time. You know, like, you're taking as much time as possible because you don't really know what's happening. You don't know where you're supposed to be going necessarily, stuff like that. So I much prefer, if I'm going to be spending a lot more time on it, getting the outcome I'm looking for than fumbling around and then not getting an outcome I'm hoping for.
I guess that's fair.
And then the second playthrough, I'm like, all right, I kind of know what I got what I wanted.
Right, you wanted the ideal initial experience.
Yeah.
And now you'll leave it up to chance.
Yeah. So that's how I usually play. And that's just, again, what I find fun. I fucking paid for it. I'm going to do the game how I want to fucking do it.
Right, and it's not like it doesn't give you the option to do it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's how I go through the game. And so, I don't even remember where I got to that topic. Why I was
you were
that
talking about, I was asking you about romancing girls, and then you were saying like the one girl is like either marry me or
fucking
buy.
Right. So what I did was I did both. I did both where I saved the game. I did it where I said yes, and then I did it where I said no. And I think what I'm going to do is play through the version that I said no to, because it seems like that's the end of her romance story. Now you can just like walk up to her and if you say yes and like, you know, kiss her or fucking sleep with her or whatever. So it kind of just seems like that's the end of that story, which is fine. It's great. So what I think I'm going to do is play through the option where I say no, because the other romance interest I have, Shadowheart, keeps going. There's more. Like I haven't slept with her yet. Like it's
okay. So there's more story and progression with the other girl than the first girl.
Yeah, like the first romance scene you get with Shadowheart is like you just talking to her at night about life and because she's missing memories due to what's going on with her god.
Okay.
And so like you're just getting to know each other because she doesn't open up to people. Like it's kind of against their religion's creed.
Okay.
So like that's more important to her than just like having sex.
Right.
Where Lyselle's like, we're banging, cardinal desires. I don't really give a shit about you, but sex feels good, so let's do it.
Right.
You know? So different things. So like her thing was just talking. So I haven't so there's more steps.
Right.
Where Lyselle, I guess reached all the steps. So I'm gonna play through.
Lyselle, it seems like you bang her, and then she's like, "All right, we getting married or what?"
I mean, it took more time than that, but yeah, basically.
That's the commitment right there.
Yeah. You just had to be really good in bed.
Yeah, that's only requirement.
Yeah. More so, it's like you got to be good in bed and a badass, and that's all she really cares about. But so I think I'm gonna play through with Shadowheart's thing just because then there's more going on.
Right.
And I can experience more of the stuff, and if I want to also initiate romance stuff with other characters still, as long as I don't commit to them, I can still continue with her story. Because I was able to do both to begin with, but then once I committed to Lyselle, it was over.
So outside of the one so far where it's like you either commit or you don't, is there a girl you can commit to but still have like a harem going on?
So I don't know. Shadowheart might let you.
Right.
But if you choose Lyselle won't let you, and you bring it up to Shadowheart, and she's like, I don't think she'd be down with that. Plus, I don't really want to be a second. So I don't know if you start romancing her, if she would also be like, want me or that's it. I do know the hot tiefling is like, you could sleep around. I don't give a fuck. As long as you come back and hang out with the bang me.
Because I feel like the harem is that not the ideal outcome?
Yeah. So that tiefling literally is like burning. Like
that's like the buff one.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a thing that replaced her heart that's called Infernal Engine, and it makes her really strong, but it also means she produces fire, so she's hot at all times.
Burns your dick right
so
off.
so literally, you can try to kiss her and it'll like burn you, and you'll deal damage. And she's like, I guess we can't do stuff. And the amount of people that have been posting memes of like, yo, I don't give a fuck. We're going in. I'll take the damage. Like, you know what? It was a good life.
I'll take the third degree burns.
I'll die for this.
No, you get you know how you can get like ice cubes in different shapes? So you make like a cylindrical one. Jesus. You put it on your dick.
So you get frostbite.
Yeah, but then the frostbite eases with the heat of her body. So then you're back at like a neutral temperature. You can get like 3 pumps in, and then your dick is burning.
But anyway, so she, I've seen things where she's like, you could sleep around, whatever.
Right.
Also because, but that is also at the moment where she still couldn't really interact with you.
Okay.
So maybe that changes when you fix the problem and you can touch her without being hurt. Or
like,
doesn't. Maybe she'd
it's
just
like
be like, I don't give a
Ponytail.
fuck.
They need to trust you before they burn you.
Yeah. But so it depends.
Right.
But I believe there are characters that are just like fine with you sleeping around, whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was such a bummer when Lyselle was like, it's now or never, and I was like, oh, fuck me.
So, okay, here's what I'm a little confused on. So it's like D&D, but a video game.
Mm-hmm. You make roles in the game.
Right. So you start off, you're on a boat, whatever, boat crashes.
Ship is in like a flying ship.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you're in like an airplane or something.
Sure.
You understand.
Sure.
Plane crash.
Uh-huh.
Are you on like an island or you're in the air?
You are in
alternate dimension?
A land called the Sword Coast.
Okay.
It all takes place in the world of D&D. D&D is a world.
Okay.
There are cities, continents.
Oh, okay. This is like, because I don't know D&D that well, this is all within like D&D general.
So they got the license from the people that made D&D.
Oh, okay.
And which is funny because they originally had asked them for the license back in like 2007, and they were like, "Fuck no."
Gotcha.
We're not giving that to you. So they made a different game called Divinity, which is basically D&D.
Right.
And it sold so well that after
D&D
they made
was like, all right.
Yeah, after they made Divinity 1 and 2, they were like, okay. So this game has been in development for a really long time. And also, it before it even came out, the amount of studios that make games kind of like this that came out being like, don't raise your expectations. Don't think all games are going to be like this because it's that good.
Right.
Like, it's so polished. It looks gorgeous.
I was going to say, just from like when I just did like a quick Google image search to see kind of what the feel was, like it looks super crisp.
And it's like, it's a lot of hours of game.
And not that
so much hours of game, and there are so many different endings and outcomes. And
I was going to say, when you have stuff like that where it's like decision-based outcomes, but is in the confines of an already built game, if that makes sense.
Right.
Is it just like it's already calculated all of the options that one person could make? Does that make sense?
Right.
Like,
well, Baldur's Gate has 17,000 ending variations.
That's a lot.
Now, how many of those are vastly different from others? I'd say probably a good portion.
Right,
but I'm sure some
a
of
lot
those
of them are just
very
a
small.
little bit different from, because let's say two people take all the same steps and then one step is different.
Right.
And then all the same steps again. You know what I mean? Like, but anyway. But my question was, so you're in a airplane crash, whatever. You're trying to get this like fucking amoeba thing out of your head.
Yeah.
And you want to romance people and then you fight people.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why? I don't know. For me, like the romancing and fighting part, like who are you fighting?
You're fighting anything really. So like it's
like when
imagine it like a fantasy world, right? Like obviously elves and stuff, like Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Now, in Lord of the Rings, there are the orcs, which are objectively, for the most part, bad.
Like the bad guys, yeah.
Right. So like D&D has that. Like there are goblins, which are usually just bad. They usually run around, fucking kill people, eat the people, and murder relentlessly and mindlessly.
Right.
So you can go and you find a town that's been overrun by goblins. Great. You can go in there and beat up all the goblins and get rid of them. Or you can go and someone that I talked to in the game, in the beginning of the game, you can run up to this place that's like a little sanctuary hub where you can sell and buy items and stuff. That's run by a group of druids. And the druids are kind of being assholes, like trying to protect their lands, and they're trying to like throw out the refugees under orders of one person specifically. And they killed all of the druids because they were like, no, you're assholes, you're my bad guys. Gotcha. Where I played and I was like, okay, this one person's being an asshole, but I can solve this by going and finding the person that did run it, but they're missing at the moment. So I'm going to go find them and fix this problem. So like I was like, all right, well, what's going on here? I'm going to go try to help the refugees were tieflings. The like that hot girl where they're like horns and stuff. Like go and solve that problem. So like I went and freed a kid that they were trying to imprison because it fucked something up for the druids. Help a kid with some heartbeat problems, et cetera, et cetera. Helped a dude. So helped all of them so they wouldn't feel like they needed to attack the druids.
Okay.
And so that the druids would feel less pressure on them. And then I went and found the leader and brought the leader back. And he was like, yo, one person that was deciding to do this, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're back to square one, buddy. You're back to being a Padawan. Like,
right.
And then he's like, all right, I'm going to find somebody new to run this because I can't do it. I need to figure out some other problems that are going on.
Right.
So there's that. Like, but, again, like there are usually objectively bad things, goblins, but there can be sometimes good goblins. There can be things that, like, again, the head of the tadpole people, they're called the Absolute. It's like kind of like a cult. Those are the bad guys you are trying to stop.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like outside of being like a main objective of you want the tadpole out of your head,
right?
Are there like other objectives that you
there are a bunch of
work your
quests.
way through? You know what I mean?
Like I started the saving that kid from being imprisoned. That's technically a quest.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It doesn't even have to be that you necessarily saved that kid. Like I walked up, talked to them out of imprisoning her,
Right.
Kid went back to the mom.
Right.
You could also say, hey, chill. She was a child. She doesn't really know what she's doing. But I understand that you need some kind of punishment. You can't hold her indefinitely, but you can hold her for like a day.
Right.
Or you could be like, fuck it, kill the kid. Either way, either of those options ends the quest.
Can you choose the root of evil?
Yeah. There's an option called the Dark Urge, which just makes you have very evil options. And then you could black out, wake up, and a bunch of people are dead around you.
Gotcha. Not what...
So you can be very evil.
But if you're evil, like, can you win, if that makes sense?
I mean, probably.
Because I feel like...
I'm sure the ending's different.
Right, I'm sure the ending is different.
And then, like, through the game, so the tadpole...
The tadpole takes over if you're evil.
Also, is, like, has, like, an effect on you.
Okay.
And so some characters, they'll get, like, a brand that... Yeah, like, they'll get, like, a brand that kind of shows up when you're interacting with them, and it's like, hey, you can use the tadpole to reach into their mind and convince you that you're okay.
Ooh.
But doing that makes the tadpole stronger.
Oh, so it's a give and take.
Yeah, so it's like, do you lean into it or do you not?
Does the tadpole make you evil? Does that make sense?
I don't know. Probably. But I don't know. I have been choosing no because I'm like, I don't want this fucking thing having like. If you keep saying yes, you get more powerful and it makes things easier. Like you can go into a goblin town and use it as a freebie, and they won't attack you. They'll just let you walk around. But you could also do that through regular persuasion, but it's easier to do it with the tadpole. And a lot of times I've been choosing just the more difficult, like regular. Persuasion or deception or whatever.
Right.
Because I don't want to give it more fucking power. I'm like, fuck that. Like.
Right.
But you could absolutely just keep leaning into it and get stronger and stronger with it. What that entails, I don't know. So it's just a lot of different things you can be doing. A lot of different things. Like you could not have. I got through most of Act 1. Basically, as far as I'm aware, I think I did all the quests in Act 1.
Okay.
I might have missed some stuff. Who knows? But from what I was able to run around and find, I filled out the map, and I think I talked to everybody and did all the stuff I could have. And then I realized, because I never picked up the hot vampire dude and etc.
Okay.
I thought that they showed up later. And then I was playing with Kieran and our friend group because we started a new game to play with them. And I walked over and fucking found him at the crash site where you find the other people. And I was like, I just fucking walked past him. So I went back and then got him and got another dude because I just didn't talk to them.
Oh.
So like I could have just left Act 1 never talking to them and never getting those companions.
So if you get them as just companions, like they're part of your party to like, help out, do whatever.
So you can have 3 people with you.
But you don't romance them? Are they just like work colleagues, friends type deal?
Yeah, you're just like, hey, you're on a party helping each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because all of them have the tadpole. Everyone's trying to get it. Fix that problem.
Okay.
So they're just helping you fix the problem.
So how can you romance? How many people can you romance at once, if that makes sense? Just the people within your group? Or like anyone you see on the street?
No. I'm pretty sure it's only the people that join your party.
Okay. Gotcha. Because I was picturing like, Sarah down the street.
No. As far as I'm aware, it's only people that join your party.
Okay.
And you can when you go out and do things, you can only have 3 of them with you. So it's a party of 4.
Oh,
but you can go back to your camp and all of them are there, and you can be like, you could walk up to Lazelle if she's going adventuring with you, and you'd be like, hey, I need you to wait here, and then walk over to fucking hot tiefling lady and be like, hey, I want you to come with me instead.
Gotcha.
So you can swap them out at any time. So like theoretically, if you wanted to, so remember, I brought up like long rests and stuff before we started. Instead of doing that, like you could technically go back to your camp, swap your party members out for people that haven't been fighting the entire time, and then keep going.
Right.
But I've mostly, so because I mostly did everything in Act 1 with 3 people, the wizard, Gale, the cleric, Shadowheart, and the fighter, Lazelle, I mostly just stick with them because I'm like, I've already played multiple hours with all of you.
Right.
And like, I've swapped out Lae'zel for the barbarian, the tiefling, sometimes, and the dude named Will, he is a warlock. I've swapped him in sometimes, but for the most part, I've really just kept the same group. It is nice though that so there was like leveling up in the game.
Okay.
And I was really worried because I was already level 5 before I grabbed 3 other characters because I also didn't find the tiefling until after that either.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm
5 is high?
I mean, I played 20 hours of the game and I got to level 5.
No, I just don't know in terms of like context.
I don't know how many levels there are.
Okay.
But in regular D&D, you mostly max out at level 20.
Okay.
I don't know if this game goes to level 20.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's not that necessarily it's high, but I played 20 hours of the game and got to level 5.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I was like, oh, like, I've already been playing with these people anyway, so I'll just keep playing with them. But I was like, it's kind of a bummer that I now have these people and they're going to be level 1. But then when I walked up to one, I swapped somebody out for them. It immediately was like, hey, they're level 5. You can level them up.
Oh.
So that is nice. And I was very glad that was a thing. Because I was like, all right, if I wanted to swap to them now, I can. There's no downside.
So it's not like Pokemon where you just train one to be level 100 and then everybody else is like level 13.
No, which is good because that would have kind of sucked.
Right.
So right now, I've been mostly playing with the same 3 people. But it's I don't know. This game is really fucking good. Like, it's just, again, it's really pretty to look at. All the interactions are really good and fun and interesting. A lot of the characters you run into that are really interesting and have unique interactions, and you can choose so many different options of how conversations go. And some of the options still kind of like end up saying the same thing.
Right.
But just slightly different worded. But like clearly it was like if you chose A, B, or C, it kind of leads you into the same spot.
Right.
Like if you just chose A, it might lead you to the end part of that conversation. If you chose B, you might get 2 extra dialogue options, but it still ends at the end.
Right.
So but really every game fucking has that because you're not going to have unique dialogue for every single option.
I was going to say that's just way too much.
Like, so it still ends in the same place, but at least you get different options going into it. But I don't know, it's just really good. And I absolutely recommend playing it. It's I don't know, it's so much fun, and it's going to be so many hours of just playing this game, and like it's just not going to finish, and it's great. Because and like I legitimately think that this is like one of the most fun games I've played in like years.
That's good.
Like God of War Ragnarok, fantastic game, very different type of game. Perfect, basically. This game also, for the moment, seemingly perfect. Like, and it runs. The great thing about it too is that it runs really well at launch. I've run into a few issues, but like nothing major, and like if I just reloaded a save, it was fine.
Right.
It has no microtransactions. They have no plans to put in microtransactions. There's no bullshit DLC to download that's like a super amount of money for no reason. All the stuff, and it was just like it just works, and there's no extra bullshit.
Right.
And it's great. And I am really, really happy that this game exists because I'm hoping it makes people realize that like games like this, there was not really any advertisement for Baldur's Gate 3. It was just word of mouth.
Oh, okay.
Like,
that's interesting.
People that liked these games knew about this game, but then people that didn't like these games found out about how good it was just because so many people were like, this game is fucking great.
Right.
Like, and to the point where it's one of the biggest games on Steam concurrently. It's had like, I think it was like 700,000 people playing it.
Wow.
Like, just because it's good. That's it. And there's no extra bullshit. Like, and people are, I'm really hoping that it shows that like you don't need all the extra shit just to make a game. Now, clearly people are going to do that anyway because it makes money.
Right.
But it's really like, I'm hoping that it does raise the bar, unlike all those other companies that were like, don't let it raise the bar, you know, or whatever. It's like, well, you should put out a product that's good.
Right.
You should put a product out that is equivalent to as good as this game is.
Right.
Unless you're an indie studio, which Lariat was. They were an indie studio until making this game.
Right.
They had to hire more people to make this game, which made them no longer an indie studio.
Gotcha.
But they were. Like,
Gotcha.
So I don't know. It's interesting, and I think people should play it.
Neato.
Yeah. I guess we can wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my pick, isn't it?
It sure is.
Right. We are recording this right before our anime club, and I need to look at my list of options I was going to choose from. Because I have just a list written down just for my own sake of ease. And we are going to make that decision together, people, I guess.
Do you want to just...
I could list my options.
Everybody vote now.
Yeah, right. I could list my options.
Vote now in the comments what you want us to do for Anime Club, even though it will already be decided.
Yeah, I could list my options.
Okay, list your options.
All right, so we got Mob Psycho.
Oh, that's a good choice. Good choice. I wanted to watch that anyway.
Bocchi the Rock.
I wanted to watch that as well.
Your boy Kung Ming.
I don't know if I wanted to watch that.
You did, because I said it was an idol show, but with an old tactician dude.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't remember the title.
Slaps.
Yes.
Made in Abyss.
I've watched that.
My Dress Up Darling.
I wanted to watch that.
Don't Mess With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
I did not watch that.
Dororo.
I don't like how that looks, TBH.
Not Dorohedoro.
Oh, sorry.
Trigun Stampede.
Okay. I don't know that I need to watch that right now.
Yeah, well.
But you know what I mean? Because I feel like we just watched Trigun, like...
Yeah, I feel like that's a good reason to watch it, though.
I guess.
Tonakawa Over the Moon. It's a really, really good romance anime.
Okay.
Kabunari and the Iron Fortress, made by Wit Studios. It's their own original anime.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Spy X Family.
I already watched that, so...
Anohana.
I already watched that.
Kill la Kill.
I already watched that.
Well, yeah, but also some of these are for Cat. And also, even though we've watched them, it's also good to have an episode to talk about.
I mean, you're absolutely right, but...
and then the Snow White Notes, which is a show about oh no, I'm spacing on the name. The Japanese guitar. No, the one with like the big. Oh fuck. I'm spacing on the fucking name.
I
of
don't
it.
know what you mean.
I know.
Not like this, yeah?
No, not that one.
That's I think a Chinese instrument. I don't know what it's called though. We're doing great.
The shamisen.
Can you show me a pic?
Yeah.
For reference, so I know what I'm thinking of. Oh, yeah.
Show about that. It's really good. And
I feel like we should watch Spy Family.
And the soundtrack slaps. And Horimiya, which is also a romance anime.
I feel like we should watch Spy Family because it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, but...
Or, okay, I would do Mob Psycho because I really need to watch it to be just educated in its wonderfulness.
So good.
The Idol one, Spy Family, or I could be down to do a romance anime. I feel like I haven't watched a romance anime in a minute.
Horimiya is so fucking good. So is Tonakawa. But Horimiya is...
But has Kat never seen Anohana?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good though.
But she's gonna come back with being like, it's bad.
How can you?
You know she will somehow.
It's a literal masterpiece.
You know she will somehow.
Well, then she has shit taste.
Should we do Anohana?
Am I ready to go through that all over again?
Find out if she's gonna have shit taste.
Yeah, let's find out if she has shit taste. Let's do it.
Okay.
And it's only like 11 episodes, so...
I have all the episodes written down. Most of these are 12.
Oh, yeah, they're... all...
The only one that's not 12, or the only two that aren't 12, not counting 13 episodes, are Dororo and Kill la Kill. I forgot Kill la Kill was 24 episodes.
I was going to say, is Kill la Kill 24?
24. I forgot.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because Kill la Kill is so fast-paced.
Yeah, Dororo is also 24. Kat would not like that show. I know she won't.
No.
It's action-based.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't like
No,
action.
she doesn't like action.
Yeah, but it's a very good story.
Gotcha.
It's also really well animated.
Okay, well, this is not action, and it's a really good story.
Yeah.
A little bit of romance in there for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
If she doesn't like it, she's heartless.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I'm not one to be like connecting in the feels kind of way like that.
Uh-huh.
But come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, you've watched this conversation break down, and you now know some of the options of what I'm going to choose from in the future.
I hope all of you voted for Anohano because that's the choice.
Yeah.
I'm not Mike, but that is our choice.
Yeah. Well, plus you're going to find that out a week after I've already chosen because this comes out afterwards.
True.
Anyway, thanks for watching this week's
A
episode
little
of the Vaguely
behind
Anime
the
Podcast.
scenes.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, review, follow. Don't forget to check out Cat the Moonstar on Twitch. You have 4 weeks to watch Anohana. And we will see you guys next week for whatever we talk about.
Bye.
Bye.